This conference will now be recorded.
Ready? All right. This special meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the South Whidbey Parks and Recreation District is called to order at 3:01 on May 5th, 2023.
May I ask, who is Krista there in person as well?
Yes.
Is she on? Okay.
Yes, and I believe that we want to make a change to the agenda for this meeting. I would like to make a motion to add public comment to this agenda. I believe now, after the call to order, but before we convene to executive session. So I've made a motion, and
You say I moved.
I move to add public comment to the agenda for this meeting.
Is there a second?
I can second that motion.
It has been
Or
moved and-
emotion, either way.
It has been moved and seconded to have a public comment period at this time. All those in favor say aye.
Krista, aye.
Eric, aye.
Matt, aye.
Jennifer, aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and we will have a public comment. Is there anyone for public comment? Having no one for public comment, we will move on to convene for our executive session. The South Whidbey Parks and Recreation District Board of Commissioners and department heads of the district will convene to an executive session to evaluate the qualifications of applicants for the South Whidbey Parks and Recreation District's executive director position and discuss compensation for the director position and conditions of employment in accordance with RCW 42.30.110. We will convene to executive session for 90 minutes. We will return at 4:34 p.m.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we are reconvening to an open meeting for just a few moments here. We are making good progress in our executive session. We are going to convene back into executive session for an additional 30 minutes. We are going to take a personal break for water and restroom. So we will go into our executive session at 4:40, which would bring us back to our open meeting at 5:10. All right, so I guess you just leave it open.
This conference will now be recorded.
Did you take the screen down? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we are reconvening to our open meeting at 5:10. We are in the final evaluation and discussion, believing we need another 20 minutes to wrap up those discussions. We are going to convene to an executive session effective immediately until 5:30.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So we are reconvening to our open meeting. All right, we are going back into executive session for 15 minutes. We will be back at 5:47.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we are reconvening to our open meeting. There are some details that we are continuing to discuss. So we are going back into convening to executive session for additional 30 minutes, which gets us to 6:20 p.m. All right.
This
Yeah.
conference will now be recorded.
I can't, it's me. Oh, no, it's you. I can do that. Yes, I got it.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
We are reconvening to our open meeting, recognizing that we are late coming back from our appointed time, but to not further delay. So we are now back in our open meeting and prepared to entertain a motion.
I make a motion to authorize the chair, Jennifer Cox, to make an offer to our selected executive director candidate.
I'll second that motion.
It has been moved.
Okay. Can you pause for just a second? I've got somebody. No, just let me catch up with you. Just a second.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Jennifer, please reiterate the motion.
It has been moved and seconded to authorize the chair, Jennifer Cox, to make an offer to the selected executive director candidate.
And I believe we were going to expand on that pending final, the final decision. I want to try that again.
Oh,
Right. Pending the response to the offer, we hope the final hiring action
You want to just,
pending response to the offer.
the final hiring action will occur at the May board meeting. Does that get it done?
All right, can I have a second to that, please? So with an amended motion, do we need to have it more clearly stated and seconded before I spit it back?
yeah, why don't you, yeah, Krista, why don't you just restate, modify your motion?
Okay. Yeah, I got it. So I make a motion to authorize the chair, Jennifer Cox, to extend an offer to our selected executive director candidate. Pending the response to the offer, the final hiring action will occur at the May board meeting.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
It has been moved and seconded to authorize the chair, Jennifer Cox, to extend an offer to our selected executive director candidate. Pending response to the offer, the final hiring action will occur at the May board meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Krista, aye.
Eric, aye.
Aye.
Jennifer, aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it and the motion passes. We are adjourned at 6:34.